caring place for people and plants. It's Kenny's Place.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
25 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Monday morning. Hope you had a good weekend, had a good time ourselves. And let's see, there's a ribbon cutting today I want to mention. It is at 5 this afternoon. It is at a place called My Salon Suite of Ocala, and they are located at 4205 Southwest 38th Court. And they are conveniently located in the Berkshire Oaks Plaza next to the H.H. Gregg and across from Kohl's near I-75 and State Road 200. So now you have an idea of where they are. The grand opening of My Salon Suite concept in Ocala, and you're invited. Let's see. It doesn't say anything about beverages, right?
No, it didn't say anything.
A lot of people go to these ribbon cuttings because there's a little party going on, right?
Exactly. Sometimes they put the information in there, sometimes they don't.
Sometimes they don't.
They never put in the website or the phone number and stuff. That's stuff that we look up here to make it easier for everybody.
Translate we to you. Robin looks that stuff up. Anyway, if you have a business and you would like us to announce your ribbon cutting, it's simple. You simply have to join the Ocala-Marion County Chamber and Economic Partnership, and in addition to the ribbon cuttings and the radio stations announcing your ribbon cuttings, you will also have a lot of opportunities to network, and networking usually means more business. I wouldn't say it always does, but I suppose it depends on two things: your social skills and whatever it is you're selling or offering, right? It's got to have it play an important role. So let's see. When you get a job, when you get a job, and you're looking for another job.
Yes.
Do you think it's fair to your current employer to kind of slack off on what you should be doing at your current job?
No.
So what should happen to you then?
No.
What should happen? What should your boss do? Let's say you're working at a grocery store, right? And you're looking to get a job at a clothing store.
Right.
Your job at the grocery store, the boss over there says, gosh, you're not doing much lately. What are you doing? And you say, well, I'm more interested in the clothing store job I'm trying to get. And he says, yeah, but right now you work for the grocery store.
Exactly.
What should he do? What should that grocery store boss do?
He should write you up.
Write you up?
He should
You're
give
so
you a
kind.
warning.
I would think, get rid of you. But you're right. Write you up is good. Okay.
Yeah.
So Marco Rubio has been criticized for something similar. According to the Washington Post, he's not really doing a whole lot of voting in the Senate.
Oh, no.
The Washington Post reports that the freshman Republican, Marco Rubio, is used to action, and there isn't a whole lot of that in the Senate.
Oh, gee.
George Washington said the upper chamber's intention is to cool House legislation much like a saucer cools hot tea. But that's not much to Rubio's liking, according to the Washington Post. His political career has been spent getting things done, and he's had little success on that front since he took office in 2011.
He's getting paid.
In his first year, his debt-cutting measure was killed by Democrats while Republicans killed his immigration reform plans. Both parties killed his AGREE Act. He said on the Senate floor 10 months into this job, do we just stand around and do nothing, or do we actually begin to act? You can't blame him for saying that, but at the same time, he's running for president now, and he's kind of a little bit neglecting what he should be doing. After years of trying to be stymied, Rubio has thrown in the towel. He hates it, one of Rubio's longtime Florida friends told the Washington Post. Unlike Kentucky Senator Rand Paul, Rubio did not even bother trying to seek re-election to his Senate seat. He's going for the White House or nothing at all. Just this past week, Rubio gave a floor speech touting his bill that would give the Veterans Administration more power to fire underperforming employees.
Ah, there you go. There you go. He should practice what he preaches.
It needed unanimous consent for quick passage. Senator Richard Blumenthal, a Connecticut Democrat, prevented that when he objected that the bill didn't allow due process for workers. Rubio said, "Unfortunately, we will not be able to move forward on this today, it appears." When he was asked by the Washington Post if he would have run for re-election to his Senate seat if he wasn't running for president, Rubio didn't sound enthused about the prospect. He said, "I don't know." He said, "For 2 years, we just tried to slow dance and wait for the 2012 election," Rubio said. "And then, when that didn't work out, we spent 2 years trying to position ourselves for 2014. Despite winning a majority in the Senate, it wasn't enough to stop Democratic filibusters. Now it's 2015, and the argument is we're going to wait until the election for the next president."
That is the most ridiculous thing.
So you're going to see this rising star, a guy who has said a lot of things that I agree with and showed a lot of promise.
Mm-hmm.
Either, I don't know what, either nothing or the president. He's going to be the president or he's going to be nothing.
Yeah.
And so therefore, what will he do? Just retire? He's a very young guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So that was one story I wanted to bring up to you this morning.
Yeah, that's a really bad attitude.
Thoughts on that? I realize it's a political story, but...
No, it's a bad attitude. He's getting paid for by taxpayer dollars to do a job, and he's slacking, and it's not fair to the taxpayers to have somebody there that isn't doing anything and admits it.
Let's see. We were talking this morning about Hurricane Patricia.
Yeah.
Turns out it was not what the meteorologists were saying it would be. Torrential rainstorms battered Louisiana yesterday, leaving thousands without power after pounding southeastern Texas as the remnants of Hurricane Patricia converged with a second storm. The heaviest band of rain moved over the Gulf of Mexico, triggering coastal flood warnings and flash flood watches in southwest Louisiana and soaking New Orleans, according to the National Weather Service. About 22,000 people were left without power in the greater New Orleans area. Some streets were flooded, while a high tide surge brought some coastal flooding as well. Rainfall has totaled as much as 7 inches since late Saturday night, and forecasters predicted another 5 inches. The National Weather Service said waterspouts over lakes and tornadoes over land were both possible. They also issued a tornado watch for southeastern Louisiana and coastal Mississippi into early this morning, warning that several thunderstorms could develop in the region. A tornado did touch down near the community of La Rose, about 45 minutes south of New Orleans, though no serious damage was reported. All of that said, it is not the big storm they were originally predicting. As bad as that sounds, and that does sound bad. It just wasn't outdoing Katrina in any way.
It could have, though. I mean, it was huge from what you were
huge.
reporting.
Well, I mean, it looked huge, and what they were saying, 200-mile-per-hour winds. That's pretty strong.
And if people were tried to second guess it and would have thought, oh no, nothing's going to happen, and all of a sudden it happened, you cannot second guess God. You have to prepare.
Thank you. It is God. It is not the president.
No, not at all.
If you remember, President Bush was blamed for Katrina.
Yes, he was. He caused
Whatever.
it. He created that storm.
The next story, do not ever go see a movie directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Oh.
Do not ever go to see a movie by this guy. I don't care. I don't care how good it is.
What did he do?
I don't care what actors are in it.
What did he do?
Let's see. New York City's police union is calling for a boycott of Quentin Tarantino films. And I'm joining them on that. The director blasted police officers during a rally against police brutality on Saturday in New York. Less than 1 week after a police officer was killed by a suspect. He said, the director, Tarantino, said, "When I see murders, I do not stand by. I have to call a murder, and I have to call the murderers the murderers." He told that to a crowd of protesters in Washington Square Park, saying that cops are too often the murderers.
Oh, no.
The rally came 4 days after New York City Police Department officer Randolph Holder was fatally shot in the head while chasing a gunman in East Harlem. When asked about the timing of the rally, Tarantino called it unfortunate. Well, it's just unfortunate.
Oh, my God.
Just unfortunate.
Oh, my God.
The president of the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, Patrick Lynch, said yesterday, quote, "It's no surprise that someone who makes a living glorifying crime and violence is a cop hater too."
Oh, my God.
The police officers that Quentin Tarantino calls murderers are not living in one of his depraved big screen fantasies. They're risking and sometimes sacrificing their lives to protect communities and real crime and mayhem. We'll be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, intervals of cloud and sunshine. There can be a shower or two along the coast, the high 82 to 86. Mostly cloudy tonight, a late night shower in spots along the coast, the low 69 to 73. Clouds and some sun tomorrow with a shower near the coast, the high 83 to 87. On Wednesday, times of clouds and sun and warm with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, the high 84 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Joey makes it 3 in a row. I'm Joe Moore. This is the Monday Morning Race Refresher, brought to you by Coca-Cola. Open a Coke and enjoy the race.
As the sun was setting over my son's blanket fort, a smile crossed my face because I had dinner covered. Earlier at Walmart, my senses told me my family would want something delicious. Coca-Cola and a market-side rotisserie chicken from the deli answered the call.
Mom, can I have some more?
Looks like another dinner saved by Mom the Incredible.
Find the effortless meal your family deserves at the Walmart Deli with a tender market-side rotisserie chicken, 2 pounds of savory potato salad, and icy cold 2-liter Coke for $9.50 or less. Tax deposit and CRV not included.
Joey Logano went to Talladega yesterday, not even needing to race. He had already won at Charlotte and Kansas, so he was transferring to the next round of the chase. But he did race and won the CampingWorld.com 500. It all came down to a green-white check when Joey chose the outside lane in front of Jeff Gordon instead of the inside, which would have put him in front of his teammate, Brad Keselowski. Joey explains why.
The 24 was so fast. You know, we've seen it in qualifying how fast he was, and I saw it throughout the race, how he is such a great pusher. You know, and when you realize someone's that much faster, you gotta go to that lane. We're fast, and it seemed the top to me a little bit better too on the restart. So between those two things, I felt like that's the lane I got to choose, and worked out the way it needed to be. It'd been interesting if the race played out and what would have happened, but so proud of this team.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. was second yesterday, with Jeff Gordon getting third. Brad Keselowski came in fourth, and Carl Edwards was fifth. The Talladega race was the final event of the contender round of the chase, and 4 drivers were eliminated. They were Ryan Newman, Denny Hamlin, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Matt Kenseth. The eliminator round starts next Sunday at Martinsville Speedway in Virginia. That's the Monday Morning Race Refresher. I'm Joe Moore on the Motor Racing Network.
Attention homeowners, if your sinkhole case was denied during the past 5 years or repaired, but there was little or no money left to finish fixing your property, you may qualify to receive up to $15,000 through a sinkhole repair management program in your area. This government program is offered to owners who feel that their sinkhole claim was unfairly denied or repaired, but there was little or no money left to finish fixing their property. For a free inspection and consultation, call Sinkhole today at 813-403-7809. 813-403-7809. That's 813-403-7809. Sinkhole Savvy.
Thank you. 12 minutes before 8 o'clock. I'm jumping the gun there. I didn't mean to do that. 12 minutes before 8 o'clock, and looks like another nice day here in Ocala. 69 degrees right now. The forecast looks pretty good. 20% chance of rain today. High temperatures in the lower 80s. Tomorrow, pretty much the same thing. Later on in the week, there's a 60% chance of rain on Wednesday, with highs in the mid-80s, and then no mention of rain for the for the last 2 days of the work week. Let's see. So Saturday is the last day of the month, right? So the first Friday of November will be a week from Friday. So I'm looking forward to the first Friday art walk. We didn't participate in the one in October because we weren't in town. We went up to Chattanooga. All right, so just to continue with the piece I was expressing to you regarding the New York City Police Department deciding they wanted to have a campaign to boycott any Quentin Tarantino film because of comments that Quentin Tarantino made regarding police officers and equating them as murderers. statement from the Police Benevolent Association's head guy, what's his name again? Lynch something. He said New Yorkers need to send a message to this purveyor of degeneracy that he has no business coming to our city to peddle his slanderous cop fiction. It's time for a boycott of Quentin Tarantino's films, unquote. Tarantino had acknowledged that the timing of the rally was unfortunate, but said people traveled to be part of the gathering that day. It's like this, it's unfortunate timing, but we've flown in all these families to go and tell their stories. That cop that was killed, that's a tragedy too, he said. All right, no comments on that one, huh? Okay, next story to comment on. The next watering hole may be way out in outer space. It's not a new bar on the International Space Station. It's Comet Lovejoy, a comet that's spewing out alcohol. A comet is spewing out alcohol, as much alcohol as in 500 bottles of wine every second.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, how do they know this?
Wow.
Spewing out alcohol.
And Comet Lovejoy. I love that name.
Lovejoy has made its closest approach to the sun and is moving away from Earth. So wait a minute. If this comet is spewing out alcohol, doesn't alcohol have water in it?
Yeah, it does. It's not water free. Isn't that, now that's interesting that you brought that up. That's really interesting.
Donald Trump taunted Ben Carson last week, saying the ex-neurosurgeon has super low energy. Super low energy. So Ben Carson responded by talking about how when he was a teenager, quote, he says, as a teenager, I would go after people with rocks and bricks and baseball bats and hammers. It's not a good thing to tell people. And of course, many people know the story when I was 14 and I tried to stab someone.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa. Well, he's leading in what is it, Iowa? He's leading the polls in Iowa.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump is number 2 in Iowa. Well, I wonder if that's going to turn things around. But still, when you talk about the one thing Donald Trump has on his side, if you think about it, if you don't like him, then I guess this is not on his side. But if you do like him, you go back to like some of these old interviews he did with David Letterman, like when George Bush was first running for president,
right?
And Donald Trump was supporting George Bush.
Right.
He made some comments back then when his hair looked pretty good back then. Actually,
I know his hair looked great.
But anyway, he was a pretty I don't know, sensible guy back then. He's a little bit more bolsterous now than he was back then.
And Iowa's a very, very. I mean, everybody looks to Iowa when they're campaigning for president. You know, that's like the state that sets the standards for everything.
Do you think Jeb Bush is just going to disappear? It just doesn't seem like he's got any traction at all.
No,
I think he has any traction.
Yeah, he's going to disappear. The two fronts are going to be Ben Carson and Donald Trump. I really think so. Jeb Bush doesn't have any steam, which is a shame.
This sad story out of Oklahoma. Adacia Chambers faces 4 counts of second-degree murder. She's the woman who police say was driving under the influence and plowed her car into a homecoming parade crowd Saturday at Oklahoma State University.
Yeah, that was a horrible story.
Dozens more were injured, many seriously. She is set to appear in court today.
That is a horrible, horrible story.
And then this story. A video released over the weekend shows what it looked like when U.S., Kurdish, and Iraqi forces freed about 70 hostages from an ISIS prison last week. Gunfire provides a kinetic soundtrack to the video. Soldiers are seen ushering frightened men through the prison's halls. Another video shows coalition aircraft later destroying the prison.
God. Oh, gee.
Yesterday we bumped into a lady from Russia.
Yes.
Specifically from Croatia.
Yes.
According to her words. Crimea. I'm sorry. Crimea. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know why did I say Croatia? Crimea. But anyway, she was watching us play music over at Silver Springs, and she was. Did you see her walk up?
No, I did not.
I didn't either.
I did not.
But I saw her toes because I was looking down. And she had sexy toes. Did you see her toes?
No, I didn't. But
Okay.
she was sexy herself. I thought.
She
I thought she was real pretty.
in a hard way.
Yeah, in a hard way.
She was a hard, sexy lady.
Yeah. But I didn't see her toes. Usually, I notice shoes and feet and.
Well,
stuff
I was looking
like that.
down because I was playing the accordion, looking at the grass, I guess.
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, there were these ladies' toes in in like sandal kind of shoes, and they were sexy kind of toes. And then I looked up, and there she was, and I thought she wanted something, and then she started speaking, and you could tell she had an accent. I couldn't tell what it was right away. So then I asked, where are you from? And she said, Russia. And I said, ooh, is it cold over there? And she went on to tell us, no, Russia is 5 times the size of the United States of America.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's true or not. But anyway, she said it's 5
That's
times.
what she
But did you feel the one-uppance happening?
I did.
Did you feel her trying to say, no, our country is way bigger than yours?
Yes, I felt that. She was something else.
And then she said, and it's not cold everywhere. She says, where I live, it's just like Florida. And then I said, oh, well, and I was trying to be nice. I said, well, where do you live?
Yeah.
And that's when she said Crimea. I said,
she was on the defensive.
Oh, your country is in the news a lot. He said, my country is Russia. So I guess she was clearly part of the side in that argument that wants Crimea to be Russia.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, so I said, she made it seem like, with her broken English, she made it seem like that we here in America only know Crimea's news from the news, and that it really was distorted, that it wasn't really what it sounded like.
Yes.
So what do I know? I have no idea. But this happens a lot. When a hurricane happens or an earthquake happens, let's say my brother lives in Southern California. Let's say I hear about an earthquake and I see the news and this building's falling apart or whatever.
Yes.
Not falling down, but I've seen. Then you call up my brother. I don't know. I didn't see the news yet, and he didn't feel anything. Okay, so that happens a lot. But then now and then it does. I remember one of the fires in Southern California. He was clearly right in the midst of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, get back to this lady. She clearly had an opinion that the news distorted it, and in her experience, it was nothing really big to be worried about in Crimea.
Yeah, she said the people over there were real happy.
But then she wanted to play the accordion.
Yes.
Now here's the thing with me when people ask, "Can I play your accordion?" So, sorry if I went on a tangent here, but this is
important, though.
No, it's not. But it's on my mind. But anyway, so whenever somebody says to me, "Oh, can I play your accordion?" Because I don't feel like I'm that good at it. I just play it, I'm okay. But anyway, I always feel like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to be learning something, because this probably a brilliant accordion player, and then B, to kind of be humbled and say, oh, well, I guess I got a lot to go. I guess I got a lot to learn. Every single time somebody has picked up my accordion,
yes,
I think they're going to be great. And she did scales.
Yeah.
She did scales, and she said, "Where is do?"
I know.
Not where is C. Where is do? Like do re mi, like that.
I know.
Now, do is not necessarily C, but I assumed she meant C.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, do could be any note.
Exactly.
You can start a scale on any note, but anyway, so she played scales, and I thought, oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
Thank you very much. I'll take my accordion back.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid they're going to say, "What are you talking about, your accordion? This is mine."
Exactly.
Police! Officer!
Yeah.
He's trying to take my accordion.
Exactly.
The other thing I always get a kick out of is that, because I'm larger than most people, the accordion swallows everybody. The straps. It's just like
yeah, because they're made for you. Not
that tiny little. Everybody's
else.
that tiny little person in this world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I just think it's kind of rude. I mean, you wouldn't go up to Matthew Wardell and say, "Excuse me," like you pointed out, "can I have your baton? I'll conduct your orchestra." I mean, it's just rude to ask somebody to
But here's the other side of this. So now a pretty sexy woman is holding an accordion, and guess what happens? A crowd starts to form.
Yeah.
Did you notice this?
Yes, I did.
So they're all going, "Oh, wow." And meanwhile, we've been playing for an hour and a half.
Yes.
Right? We get our share of, it's beautiful, nice. I love it. I love what you're doing. But when a pretty girl, forget it.
Yeah, that's it. They might as well pack up and go home.
I don't care how bad she is. Everybody's going to say, "That is awesome."
That's right.
That pretty girl can play those scales.
That's right. Exactly. It's the truth.
And from Russia? Wow. Well,
Yeah, that's a bonus.
She's a bride. I mean, what do you call that?
Mail order bride.
Yeah.
But she was,
Anything else?
interesting to talk to, I thought.
They're picking up sounds from that star out in space, that unexplained pulsing light. Mm-hmm. They're picking up sounds. I was going to play some of the sounds for you, but they're trying to determine what it might mean.
Gosh. I got to hear them.
All right, we'll take a little break. When we come back, Galen Unold will be on the phone from Life South Community Blood Center. We'll talk about the important role you play as a blood donor. We'll also talk about some patents that have been filed for airplane seating.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Hundreds at a vigil at Oklahoma State last night, remembering the 4 people killed when a woman drove into a crowd at the homecoming parade.
It helps us come to terms with the fact that these things happen, and that if these things do happen, that we will have those around us to support us.
Adacia Chambers, facing DUI and murder charges, appears in court today.